Dark Messiah of Might and Magic, another nearly 20-year-old game that always had a special place for me. Dark Messiah has never been a really popular game in the modding scene. However, a few years ago there have been some really interesting mod releases that I want to cover in this video. The main focus of this video will be overhauling the game with additional features, fixes, and additionally making it look a little bit better. As per usual, I do advise watching this video before you start following this tutorial. You'll be sure if this is something for you, and this time around it could also save you some time. It could save you some time because some steps can be skipped depending on what you wish to install. After following this video, you should have a better idea on how modding this game works and how the game file structure is built when modding. We first download and install this game on Steam. Start the game and close it again. There's no need to change any settings yet, because these will get overwritten a few times anyway. Like many older games, we need to make Dark Messiah large address aware, so we can apply a memory patch for the game. Even in vanilla, the game has a tendency to crash occasionally without the memory patch when you use high settings. Download the large address aware tool and unpack it, then run it on mm.exe like in the video. If you prefer, you can keep this tool inside your Dark Messiah's main directory. We of course also need to apply the memory patch. Download it, then extract it to your main directory of Dark Messiah. Run it on mm.exe. With these prerequisites out of the way, we can already start modding Dark Messiah of Might and Magic. The first mod we take a look at is Dark Messiah Enhanced. This is a large texture overhaul released in 2020. Now some of these changes are a lot better looking than the base game, while some other changes are less noticeable. From what I understand, it's not that easy to adjust upscale resolutions on textures, so whatever we can get is very welcome addition to this nearly 20-year-old game. Download Dark Messiah Enhanced Part 1 and 2 and the spells under optional files. There's no need to install this yet, so let's continue for now on and let it download in the background. If you wish to install the Unlimited Edition, which is covered in the next section, you can skip to timestamps on screen, since Unlimited Edition basically does all the upcoming steps for you. However, if you want to understand modding this game better, or won't be using the Unlimited Edition, you should follow these few minutes and small steps. I promise you, it's not that bad. Go to the main directory of Dark Messiah, where you have it installed, and open the mm folder. Now open gameinfo.txt. What we want to do here is make edits to the search paths at the bottom of the text file. For now we only add game custom to the field and save it. Now start the game, and once it's started, close it again. Having done this, the game will have made a new folder named custom in your main Dark Messiah's directory. The custom folder should also have files inside it, like shown in the video. Check if this is the case. To keep it simple and understandable, what we actually did here is make a custom folder that the game is now able to read from with mandatory game files already inside. Now go back again to the mm folder. Inside, locate the folder named media and copy it. Optionally, also copy the save and config folder. This has your save files and game settings stored inside. Go back to the custom folder again and paste the copied folders here. We can now actually install the mod. First extract part 1 anywhere, then extract part 2. And once that's done, also do this for the spells. Now move the extracted materials, sprites and FX folders to the custom folder in Dark Messiah's main directory. After this is done, you can launch the game to see if it all works so far. Like I said, some changes might look subtle, but the difference overall is really good. Next up is the Dark Messiah Unlimited Edition mod. The Unlimited Edition restores some features that were restricted to the Limited Edition of the game. The mod adds collector's weapons, new game plus, new NPC voices and responses, some small fixes and a bunch of other mini-mods. Unlimited Edition has two versions, one with the mini-mods included and one without them. Since this tutorial focuses on overhauling the game, we will choose the version with most mini-mods included. This also includes similar mods that would have made it in this list anyway. None of these give too much of an unfair advantage or drastically change the game, but I do feel like a lot of these changes should have always been in the game. Go to the Unlimited Edition Steam page, scroll down and download Unlimited Edition with most mini-mods enabled. This will include everything except regen binds, free inventory swap and normal health. The ones not included are leaning towards cheating and attempts to fix the sponginess of enemies on harder difficulty. Once downloaded, extract it and place everything in your Dark Messiah main directory. Now go to the mm directory and copy the media folder. Go to your mm_root folder and paste it here. If you skipped Dark Messiah Enhanced earlier, we can now install that on top of this without too many changes. First extract part 1 anywhere, then extract part 2. Once done, also do this for the spells. Now move the extracted materials, sprites and FX folders to the custom folder in Dark Messiah's main directory. If you do install this mod later, it'll ask to overwrite the wizard files. The files are identical as far as I can tell, so do what you want with it. Now go back again to the mm folder, inside locate the folder named media and copy it. Go to the custom folder again and paste the media folder there. As a final checkup, you can go back to the game info text file located inside the mm folder. The search pad structure should look like how it looks on screen. We then get to a number of small improvements to the game. The first mod I really like is movement improvement. What this does is make the movement in Dark Messiah a lot better. It fixes some of the floaty and slidey movement, and you can sneak faster and also move backwards faster. There are some similar mods like this, but I like this one the best and seems to be the most inclusive of good changes. If you don't use the Unlimited Edition, we extract the file to the mm/config folder. With the Unlimited Edition installed, we place it inside the mm_root/config folder. Now finally we must add something to the Steam launch options, so the game launches with the movement improvement configuration. In Steam, go to Library and right-click Dark Messiah, select Properties, now enter the following text under Launch Options. When done, simply close it and the mod should now work. If something is not to your liking or you find this a little bit too cheaty or something like that, you can play around with the values in the movement improvement text file. Next we have corpses stay. This makes it so that 9 corpses will stay in the game world instead of the default of 2. Download and unpack the file, then place the files in your Dark Messiah vpks folder. There is a small guide on screen on how to increase or decrease this number further if you would like to spend your time on that. Then we have the no intro videos. I guess you can guess what this does. In addition to skipping the intro logos, it also includes the optional file to skip the intro videos. Extract the downloaded file and copy it to your custom/media folder. You may want to replace them inside your mm and mm_root folder as well. Then we have Kill the Flies. This is another mod that gets rid of some minor annoyances. It disables the fly sound that comes when a corpse is lying around. Place the sound folder in both the mm and custom folder. Next we have Leanna 2K, one of the only few retextures other than Dark Messiah Enhanced on the Nexus. Download and extract the mod. Replace the files in both your custom and mm folders. For some final extra spice, the last mod we add is the 3D menu mod. Download either Xana or Leanna. If you use the Unlimited Edition, place the files inside your mm_root/maps folder. If you don't use Unlimited Edition, place the files inside your mm/maps folder. You can of course place them in both if you ever want to change between Vanilla and Unlimited. Finally, we need to add another argument to Steam launch options right after +exec_movement.configuration. This would be what you can see on screen right now. If you downloaded the Leanna file, it will be menu 3D Leanna, and if you want Xana, you'll have to enter menu 3D Xana. As a final step, let's start the game to see if it all works, and finally change some settings if you prefer. I usually turn off head bobbing, turn on developer's console, and turn on subtitles, and that's pretty much it. And of course, remember that you can crouch toggle with C. For such an old and seemingly niche game, I was happily surprised that there were still some really good mod releases in the last years. This tutorial isn't anything big, but I hope it still makes Dark Messiah worth replay for some of you. Now, as something new on this channel, I will also be uploading a video with the entire game as modded in this tutorial. My earliest videos were all creative montages of Dark Messiah, so for me it's a fun throwback. I actually kept a few of them on this channel. The quality isn't that great, but if you like, give these few minutes videos a try sometime. Now take care everyone, and I'll see you all later.